two issues. First of all, the statistics is that we in the context, maybe I should give the background of the statistics in Uganda.
Yeah.
That the gross enrollment ratio, which is the number of people who should be in higher education of the school-going age, is only 6.1%, 6.2, the gross enrollment ratio. The OECD and UNESCO says that for a nation to develop and economically grow, that percent should be 40. And that's where America, Canada, and the rest are. But they also say that the world average is 25. That's where the Malaysians are. Now, if I were to give an example, I like to give this. If population of Uganda of 36 million, if 6 were the school-going age of 18, for you to try to be Malaysia, 1.4 million, 25% of that, of the 6 million should be in higher education. But you see our number is just 200,000, it's bad.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, this is what has actually triggered the idea of private providers trying to solve the problem. But in so doing, I think there's that haste. People are not prepared that I want to start an institution, this is the workforce that I've developed, academic workforce. And that kind of, in a way, brings problem. And you find there's the idea of Makerere trying to do service to other private institutions. So there's a sharing of staff, there's the moonlighting. This is known. And so the problem of the academic staff is one. On the context of the students wanting to access, I could say there's interest, but we're also finding out that not a lot is happening. And the argument in the country right now is perhaps it's the structure of how we assess students. Because the Ugandan education system is you do 7 years in primary, 4 years in O-level, and there you do about 8 to 10 subjects. Biology, chemistry, and the rest. Then you make a decision to go to high school with 3 subjects. So the argument is a student could do 8 subjects and pass everything with distinction. But when they go to high school, they change their mind to do history, economics, literature. And at that point, you can't return back to redeem.
So there's an interest issue or a demand issue.
Demand issue, in fact, that's the argument now. So, and then it's early stages that proposing perhaps you allow students don't do O-level, they only do high school, 1 exams. If they pass all the 10 subjects, then at that time they're mature, they're 18, they can, if they try law, because they did history, economics, didn't work, they could still go back to sciences. But in the current circumstance, they cannot redeem what they did well at O-level once they've moved to.
Yeah.
They must repeat the entire thing. So it's a confusion. So the numbers could still be wanting. But one thing I should add, the most challenge is the girl child. We call them girl child, females.
Yeah.
The population of Uganda is 60-40, 60 female. I guess that's the trend of the world trend. And the enrollment in higher education has magnificently improved. And thanks to the government in the country, government that be for all the initiatives. But we are not finding many girl child in STEM areas. And we really don't understand why, precisely why they're not in.
And so what do you think, do you have any ideas about, are there any policy initiatives to try to do that? Or have you seen anyone else successfully on the African continent or elsewhere with a program to increase women in STEM?
Good question. One of the colleagues, Gloria Ladislas, who went to, I think, Virginia Tech, had interest of understanding how you could plan to enroll more. And it was a very, very interesting and kind of engaging discussion when she presented it. I think there are issues at large, government policies and specific institutional policies, and also cultural. But I think Uganda has gone beyond cultural because the current government has brought a gender ministry to ensure that women or female or girl child is actually recognized, represented. Makerere itself has affirmative action where a girl child gets some points to let them be competitive to enter university. We've seen a vice president in the country, and so on and so forth. But I think there now needs to be a deliberate, concerted effort directed in targeting entire girl child from primary. And then in our discussion, we are saying that make examples of study lady-friendly. There's no need to draw a textbook in mathematics and only put the faces of boys. There's no need to draw an engineering with only male pulling the wheelbarrow. You should put also female doing that. So it might help. But also perhaps take up the idea of summer camps, where you take only girl. This was raised by Robin, and I enjoy that. You bring only a girl's kind of component, because it's their peers, they're free to talk about these issues about them and guide them through issues in science in a camp for 2 weeks.